As spawning in the top right-hand corner of ley lines, we have the Brazilian Terran player, the blue Terran representing the Phantom Heroes. It is INexorable. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the purple Zerg player from Brazil as well, representing the Phantom Heroes as they are teammates. It is Tatagiba. Again, I would say that INexorable, he's the best Terran player in the bracket so far. Amongst INexorable, Kamikaze, and Yan, does stand amongst the rest. Stand tall amongst the rest. Oh, here we go. As we still in, a big shout out to Pig. Oh my god, El Chanchito, papi. God. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session or casting session as well. Hope you had a great time. Welcome one and all. Mate, you stream so early. Every morning. Oh my god. Crazy. But thank you so much for the raid, and welcome one and all to Code for Giants Cup. This is a Brazilian bi-weekly tournament. For those that are unaware, every 2 weeks we do host the Code for Giants Cup. Shout out to Cosmos. He's like the equivalent of maybe even Pig when it comes to the Latin American or the Brazilian region. And Cosmos has been putting in a lot of work when it comes to supporting his own nation, supporting Brazil. And they're actually working on an offline event as well. And they're still working on it. I think they have plans for maybe like in August or something for a big offline event. So do look forward to it. Featuring players like Eric, players like Shakti, players like Master, and many others from Brazil. So thank you. Thanks so much for the raid. As a Brazilian, yes, a Brazilian tournament, yes. Purely Brazilians in this event, purely. Here we go. But now settling in, and when it comes to Tatagiba's opener, once again, we should be seeing a gasless opener here. Hatch pull into a third hatchery. Has been very fond of this. We did feature Tatagiba earlier in the day, in the round 16. And typically leads into roach play as well. Leads into roaches. It's going to be on INexorable to scout to confirm. Meanwhile, all the raids. God, thank you so much. Gracias, papi, to Ryu. Oh my god, one of los patos, one of the CranKy Ducklings. Thank you so much. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session as well. I saw your title, Ryu. I said, papi, you're not washed. You're clean, papi. You're clean. Ryu. But gracias. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. Ryu, of course, a Peruvian Zerg player living in Italy. One of the CranKy Ducklings. Used to compete, nowadays less so. Nowadays mainly streaming, playing for fun, a little bit less serious and less stress as well, I'm sure. But thank you so much. Hope you had a great time. Ryu. Gracias. So here we go. Gases are being taken. As you mentioned, Tatagiba, he does often go gases into his Roach Warren, skipping Ling speed. Reaper does poke in, does check the gases, and pokes out. And may even spot the Roach Warren itself. Oh! Takes out the tumor. Oh no, not quite worth it though. Gets the tumor easy. Takes down the tumor, and INexorable, he does not get eyes on the Roach Warren, but I'm sure he's very familiar with his teammates. Again, they're both on the Phantom Heroes, and I'm sure he's familiar with the style of, and again, going into roaches. He saw the gas geyser as well, so that was a tell. That was a tell, seeing gases that early on. As INexorable, he backs off, getting to his own 1-1-1. So third CC into Starport, add-on swap into Cloak Banshee. So Hellion Banshee here out of INexorable. Very safe play, and the Banshees, they can do well for themselves against roaches when it comes to harassing or even defending against roach pushes. So here we go. Tatagiba walling up with the queens. Does wall up. Hellions, they poke in. And they will get a couple of drones here at the third. They at least try to. Nice save from Tatagiba. Saves his drones. Does pull away. And will escape. Will escape in time. Roaches are amassing as we speak. A pretty big commitment here. 6 roaches on the way. 6 roaches are on the way. INexorable rotating. Confirming no drones whatsoever at the third. Taking down some of the larvae. Not bad. Larvae going down. Confirming the roach production. Tatagiba is supply blocked. Brutal supply block. Still massing up more, and from here we could just go for an all-in. It's going to be a bit of an awkward all-in, just because you can see here we're reinforcing with Lings, but these are slow Lings. Ling speed was never researched. So it's going to be Roach Ravager with Slowlings to support. Hellions, they dive into the mineral line. They get a volley up, they get one drone. Just the one. Not too worth it there for INexorable. And here comes the counterattack. Link speed just now beginning. Again, late link speed for this kind of push. And Tatagiba, he does not join up that third base whatsoever. No saturation, 2 base all in. 2 base all in from our Zerg. The Banshees have arrived. Again, this is why Banshee play is so safe, because it shuts down moves like this. Sniping 1 Ravager already. He gets 1, he gets 2. He gets 3 Ravagers as the all-in arrives. So massive pickoffs. The bunkers are done. Final Ravager gets targeted down. And the all-in, it just falls on its face. INexorable, he completely shuts this down. Oh, no. Yeah, he's saying he forgot speed. GG, well played. And INexorable, he will defend, he will survive, he will take a lead in the series. GG. GG, well played. But yeah, it looks like it wasn't intentional that Tatagiba had to skip link speed, or maybe he just forgot to start it a little bit earlier. But yeah, he did scream that he forgot link speed. Smooch. GG. GG, well played. INexorable does take lead in the series, and we'll see if Tatagiba can bounce back as we're getting into game number 2. Easy. 2 minutes later, I forgot link speed. Really, what you're saying is INexorable should have responded saying easy as well. True, true. He should have responded. It's all good. He's too mannered, Pap. He's too mannered. And here we go. We're getting into game 2, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Brazilian Terran player, the blue Terran representing the Platinum Heroes, leading the series 1-0. It is INexorable. And spawning in the top left-hand corner. Oh my god! Off racing. My apologies. I didn't even realize. We have the Brazilian, usually a Zerg player, but off racing as Protoss representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Tatagiba. Let's go. So we have a PVT before us instead. And I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever seen Tatagiba's Protoss. I'm not too familiar with it, so we're about to experience it together for the first time. Let's go. We'll see how he does open up. We'll see how well versed he is as well. Whether he opens up Blink into Robo, into Stargate instead. Curious. But I'm sure he has a spicy build ready for us. Speaking of going for a 2-gate opener. Okay. This is not typically what we see. Going for a 2-gate opener on the high ground even. So interesting opener out of Tatagiba. He has no pro battle on the map, so no proxy. But it's almost as if we're setting up for a 1-base all-in. Typically, we'd have our setup here, like walling off one of the Reaper cliffs, of course, before expanding. The wall up at the ramp is very suspicious, is what I'm getting at. It's going to be quite suspicious here. Oh, okay. Look, my Portuguese isn't that good, Papi. Calm down. I'm like opening up Google Translate. Okay. he said I'm gonna knock you out of the clan. Oh no. They're talking about the team, Platinum Heroes. Okay. Let's go. I like how Tatagiba's been very like vocal, both in game 1 and here in game 2 as well. INexorable, he's just playing his game. He's like, whatever, mate. Whatever. Oh no. As Tatagiba, he's looking to expand, taking his natural. And he's all playing it safe. Ooh, very safe. So remember earlier how I spoke about how this setup looks like a 1-base all-in. INexorable, he responds with a bunker, CC on the high ground. So very safe play here by INexorable. Likewise, you know, alarm bells are ringing. As we can see though, and as the Terran eventually finds out, there is an expansion. So there is a bit of a stranger setup here. A delayed Nexus by Tatagiba did force an overreaction out of the Terran. but I don't blame INexorable for the overreaction. Just because this is a very inefficient start. As INexorable, he does scout, he does get eyes on the Twilight Council. Oh, let's go. The Total Biscuit voice pack. Love to see it. The last INexorable he is setting up. Soon to expand. And we'll see how many gateways Tatagiba does settle on. Whether it's just 2-gate Blink into further tech into a third base, or if he commits into 4-gate Blink Stalker. I would imagine a player off-racing as Protoss would most likely want to play with 4-gate Blink, just because it's very aggressive and it's very micro-intensive. I would imagine that's what he would enjoy, but we'll see. Oh, as one probe goes down, Reaper confirms, researching Temple Archives, or Twilight Council I should say. He's going to be researching. Here we go. Here we go. Ah. And how many gates? That's the question. We have a third and a fourth. Yeah, there we go. As we assumed, 4-gate Blink. So 4-gate Blink here by Tatagiba is going to be quite assertive. Going to be quite committed, I should say. With this, his third base is going to be delayed. So we're catching out 2 of their Stalkers. Rough control here from Tatagiba, losing 2 Stalkers already. Blink is not yet done. Brutal losses. And from here, INexorable is going to be setting up here on 2 bases. Does saturate. Getting to his 3-1-1. He hasn't quite seen the gate count yet, but playing it safe nonetheless. Building up his tanks. Safety Raven. I'm assuming in case there was like a DT follow-up. True. Not unheard of to go for a Twilight Council into DTs in this matchup. As he is secure. Behind this, Tatagiba working towards charge. Interesting. No forge, no third base yet. Does he go up to, what, 6 or 8 gateways on 2 bases? He's mining gas. I'm like trying to piece together what he's gonna do, but like it's not like a standard build, so it's a little bit awkward, a little bit wonky. There we go, extra gateways, getting to 5. At this point, we should be going up to 6, 7. 2 bases can actually facilitate 8 gateways to go for an 8-gate all-in, or a 2-base 8-gate all-in. And I would imagine we're going to be going for a War Prism with this rover to reinforce across the map and to commit to the all-in. As instead of expanding, we're throwing down extra gateways. So there should be a 2-base all-in here from Tatagiba. Back at home, INexorable, he hasn't seen any of what's going on and hasn't checked the third base either. But you can see here he's just being very defensive. He's on patrol in the main to catch any kind of prism or any kind of scout into the main base. Third CC's on the way. Oh, there's a scan, and he does see all the gates. So big moment here for INexorable. He's more or less aware of what's going on. Sees the gateway explosion. Zelta warping in. I would say it's risky for INexorable to push across the map. It's going to be risky. Observer does spot the move outs. Tatagiba getting ready. As he's pushing. Now he will have the anti-armor missile. He'll have the missile available. He's checking with a third. Scans, sees the army, sees no third base. Oh, no fear. Let's go. Likewise, no shield batteries either, which is concerning. Massive connection. Oh my, covers everything. The Dorito dust. Covers all the zealots. With this, he can stand and fight. Kites back. The tank volleys are brutal. We even have auto charts as well. Plenty of energy. The Zalsei melts. The Gateway army crumbles. And from here, INexorable, he can just snowball out of control. He breaks through. There's just nothing to defend. Ah, no. And there it is. GG, well played. And INexorable will take the series 2-0. GG. Ah. I'll be honest, I'm a little bit surprised that Tatagiba did switch to Protoss for game 2. A little bit surprised. Often we do see, you know, quote unquote off racing when it comes to avoiding mirror matchups, but this felt a little bit more like you know, he was not feeling too confident after game 1 against INexorable. Not too confident. Regardless, GG, well played. I was looking forward to seeing some more, like, you know, some more mid to late game ZVT. We saw it against Elevolts earlier, but unfortunately didn't quite get it. Didn't quite get it in the end. And with that, we are wrapping up the quarterfinals. We're wrapping up the quarterfinals as results are coming in. Un momento. Here we go. As we switch our scenes over and catch up on the bracket. Bam. Okay, from the top, we have Master. Master takes down Claw 2-0, advancing on to the semifinals. Kamikaze popping off against Yan. I'm a little bit surprised. I'll be honest, I do rate Yan a little bit higher than Kamikaze, but at the same time, Yan has been a little bit less active. He hasn't been as you know, active, and hasn't been as prevalent in these open cups or in these online tournaments as Kamikaze, so maybe that's coming into play here. Yan took a bit of a break, now he's back, but does go down to Kamikaze, so big win for Kamikaze. Scoring down, Eric takes down Shakti 2-0, likewise INexorable takes down Tatagiba 2-0 as well. And we have our top 4. We have our top 4 players here: Master, Kamikaze, Eric, and INexorable. And as you can imagine, we're going to be following INexorable into his next series versus one of our own, the CranKy Duckling himself, Eric. Let's go. Let us go. A proper ZVT this time. I can't imagine Eric is going to be off racing or playing Protoss or anything like that. Definitely looking forward to this rematch. If you were here last night, you would have seen us covering Amantes de StarCraft, which is a monthly Brazilian tournament, and you would have seen these two go back and forth. If you recall, they faced off initially in the upper brackets, and we saw INexorable defeat Eric and knock him down to the lower bracket instead, with a very strong showing. Again, Eric's weakest matchup is ZVT, straight up. Like, Eric, this is where he struggles the most. We spoke about this previously, but in general, when it comes to Latin American Zerg players, this is where they do struggle. Whether it's Cham, whether it's Eric, like, this is their weakest matchups, and it is where they can falter. They can really spike up and really excel when they go up against other Protoss or other Zerg players, but it's ZVT where we can see players like INexorable and of course Diego and some of these other big Terrans bring them down. So it's going to be a close one. I also should bring up that last night in Amantes, INexorable did defeat Eric and knock him down to the lower bracket, and then they had a rematch in a best of 5, went to the ace match, and then Eric got his revenge. But it did go to game 5. Did go all the way to game 5, so it was a very clutch back and forth between the two of them. So I look forward to another series as well. Always, Pappy, always. Here we go. Now we do need a moment to catch up though. I'll see Eric versus Kamikaze. Oh, bold move. But I mean, it's difficult for anyone to bring down Master, so best of luck. Best of luck to Kamikaze against Master. Every unit got Dorito dust. Mate, that Dorito dust was crazy. It all got dusted. The Gateway Army melted. What chance would be alive if they always did that? Respect. It was impressive. How many games do we still have today? My night is long and the stream is pretty chill. We will be covering the semifinals, so we're reaching the semifinals. We only have the matches of Eric versus INexorable, and we're going to follow that into the grand final. So we're halfway through. We're halfway through the broadcast. We're going to be going on a short break. And when we come back, we will have Eric and INexorable facing off in a ZVT. So take this moment to get some snacks, get some food, get some water, drain your disruptors, massage your marines, and hydrate all of your hydras. We're going to be back soon with the semis. See you then. Oh, see you then.